Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. It seems like I do way too many videos on tree and limb and brush removal, but it's a fact of life when you live out in the timber. And what we've got here, this is down at the bottom of my driveway. I had a big elm tree here that died a year ago, and we've got a disease going through elms. And an even bigger one right there has got it, and it's dying. And it's I've never been a big fan of elm trees to begin with, but you know, you can't split the firewood. But this one died last year, and I called the tree service this winter to come cut it down. And the guy said, "Well, I'm kind of backed up right now. You may have to remind me." And I've never reminded him. And it's gradually fallen down on its own. And we had a storm last night, and a big limb came across the driveway. And this one is going to be a little complicated to get down, and I'm going to attempt it, even though it's hanging right over my fence, vinyl fence, and it's not fully off the tree. It's still connected up there. And then to complicate matters, and it seems like I've always got something to complicate matters, there's a fork. It's sitting right over another limb. And I don't think that other limb, it's been dead for a while. I think it'll come right down when we cut, when we get this, all the weight off of this and let that fall. I think that right up there will come loose, but it may drop right down on that fence right below it. My goal with this may or may not work, this may be an epic fail video, is to get all the weight I can off these lower limbs, so it doesn't weigh anything. And I've already taken my electric chainsaw and cut all of the lower limbs off that had no weight on them. Everything that's there now is either a little bit too big for the electric chainsaw, or it's got weight on it. And my thought process is that I can get all the weight I can off these limbs. I can probably right there get my pallet forks under that and lift that up, and hopefully the thing doesn't come down. And when I lift it up, I'll be able to cut all of these limbs at the end away and get that weight off of the whole thing. And then if it breaks off, I'll try to drive the tractor forward so I pull it away from the fence as it comes down. And I'm not sure that's a great plan. I've had a change of plans. There's a bunch of limbs down here on the bottom I could take off. But the more I think about it, the more I think right up there where we're broken off is going to come loose when I pick it up. And if I tie a strap around the limb right about there with one end on my pallet fork, when it comes loose, it'll kind of balance. Now you'll notice, to compound matters, there's a fork over a limb that's still connected to this dead tree right there. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is I'm going to put a strap right there, right where it's sort of balanced with these bottom limbs, and then when I pick it up, it's going to break loose right there, and that's going to come down. And it won't come down on my fence because I've got my strap on it, but we'll see what happens. This fence is in real dire danger right now, but I think what'll happen, when I put the strap right there, it'll somewhat balance with the rest of these limbs. And if it does start to come down from that end, it'll pivot on my strap and it won't come down on the fence. We'll see if I'm right. Here we go. So the tool I'll be using for this is a short strap, like I think it's a 3-foot strap. And I'm going to wrap it around the log and put this under my pallet forks up in the air. And then I will slowly back up, and if it starts breaking loose from the tree, I'll back up fast to pull it away from the fence and then drop it to the ground. I don't think I'll be in any danger here. The only thing I can see as being a danger is the entire tree comes down, and it's a dead tree, so it could. But there's a big fork in the middle area, and I'll be right in that fork, so I don't think there's any way it's going to come down on top of me. Well, the plan has changed again. The log is too big around for the 3-foot strap, so I'm going to take a 6-foot strap and wrap it around twice and then put my fork through there. and that should work. Well, change of plans number 3. My family came out and looked at what I was getting ready to do because I was going to have them film it. And they said, what if the whole tree comes down? And I usually budget for the worst case scenario, but the whole tree comes down. I'm on an open station tractor with no protection. So plan C, and probably the best plan, is we're going to hook this 30-foot, 30,000-pound tow rope around the tree, and I'm going to be far enough away the whole thing comes down. It comes down on nothing but the fence. See what happens. All right, here's the final setup. Long tow rope to the tractor. We're hooked to the drawbar. We're going to drive. Something's got to give. We'll see what happens. It seems like I'm always taking big limbs out of trees. We have a lot of windstorms here and we lose a lot of limbs. And here's a couple other videos where I do it. And with a tractor and a long strap of some kind, you can pull a pretty good sized limb out of a tree. Thanks for watching.